Hi, first graders. Today we're going to read the book Dreamers by Yuyi Morales. We read this book before in class, but now you get to think about it a little bit more. I want you to have your elephant with you while we're reading so that you can talk with your elephant when I ask you some questions. You could also talk to somebody in your family if you'd like instead, or you can talk to me. You can pretend that I'm there with you and you can tell me the answer. So while I'm reading the book, I want you to think about, how are you feeling? How does it make you feel when different things happen to the people in this book? Remember, this book is a true story. It was written by Yuyi Morales, who was born in Mexico, and then she moved to the United States with her son. When she got here, she spoke Spanish and she was still learning English. So think about how that might have felt. When one person moves from one country to another country, we call that immigration. So this book is called Dreamers by Yuyi Morales. Here's a picture of the author and the illustrator. She wrote the book and she drew the beautiful pictures. Dreamers by Yuyi Morales. And there you can see her baby sleeping. I dreamed of you, then you appeared. Together we became amor, love, amor. The word amor means love in Spanish. Resplendent life, you and I. She's talking about when her baby was born. One day we bundled gifts in our backpack and crossed a bridge outstretched like the universe. Adios, corazón, which means goodbye, my heart. Here where you see her crossing is where she and her baby are coming from Mexico to the United States. And when we made it to the other side, thirsty in awe, unable to go back, we became immigrants, which means they moved from one country to another country. Migrantes, which is how you say it in Spanish, you and I. The sky and the land welcomed us in words unlike those of our ancestors. So here the author is telling us that when she first moved here, she didn't understand English and the language that people were talking around her. How do you think that would feel if you couldn't understand the language that people were talking around you? Grab your elephant and tell your elephant, how would that make you feel if you couldn't understand what everyone around you was saying? There were so many things we didn't know, unable to understand, and afraid to speak. What is she looking at right there? Do you recognize that? That's the map from the BART train, and she's trying to figure out how it works. We made lots of mistakes. Here she is swimming in the fountain with her baby, and somebody's telling her, you're not allowed to swim in the fountain. Have you ever been to that fountain? It's actually in San Francisco. We are not allowed to swim in it. You and I became caminantes. Thousands and thousands of steps we took around this land until the day we found, what are they going to find? A place we had never seen before. Suspicious, improbable, unbelievable, surprising. Tell your elephant, what place did they find? Have you ever been to that place before? Look at that picture. Are there any books on there that you recognize? I've actually read this book right here. You might recognize some other book. Oh, I recognize that one right there. Let's see if you can see it. I bet you remember that one from kindergarten. Unimaginable. So look at it, she's reading these books with her baby and imagining so many different things, all these books that she found at the library. How do you think she's feeling now? How does that make you feel? Tell your elephant. Where we didn't need to speak, we only needed to trust. And we did. Books became our language. Books became our home. books became our lives, we learned to read, to speak, to write, and to make our voices heard. Someday, we will become something we haven't even yet imagined. But right now, we are stories, we are two languages, we are lucha, which means fighting so that everybody can have their rights. We are resilience, we are hope. We are dreamers, soñadores of the world. We are love, amor, love. The end. And at the end of this story, Yuyi Morales tells her real story of what happened in her life, which is exactly the story she told with the pictures in this book about how she moved to this country with her baby and found the library and learned how to read and write and speak in English, and then became an author of children's books. So now, sorry, I had a little trouble with my camera. I want you to think about this book and how this book made you feel. There were a lot of feelings in this book. At one part, I felt a little scared for her. Another part, I felt a little worried. And then there were parts that were exciting and happy. So think now, how did this book make you feel? You can tell your elephant one more time if you want to. And then on Seesaw, I want you to show me. You can make a picture or a video and tell me, how did this book, Dreamers, make you feel? See you soon.